Hi, I'm Deb Wenger. Joining me today is Gerard Manogin, who is a producer at WJTV in Jackson. He is a former Ole Miss student himself who has gone on to greatness already. And he's joining me today to talk a little bit about television news. So, of course, our chapter discusses some of the issues related to television news, but oftentimes students tend to think only in terms of being a reporter when they think about being a television journalist. And Gerard is here to talk a little bit about what it means to be a producer and perhaps some of the other jobs in the newsroom as well. So, Gerard, tell me what's involved in a typical day for you?
Well, I get in and basically go on my computer and start checking the emails to see what some of the news stories are. And then also I go ask the assignment editor basically what am I getting for my show? Like, am I getting a vote site, or if I'm getting a package, or if I'm having a reporter go live from somewhere. So that's one of the first things I want to do is find out what I have from reporters and what I'm getting from them, and then also start checking things like The Wire, um, the Mississippi version for like other Mississippi news that we may have missed, or also getting emails too.
So it sounds like the first part of your day is really spent on figuring out what's happening in the world and specifically in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And then you start to figure out what of all the things that are happening in the world are going to air in your newscast that night. And you do the 10 o'clock show, right?
Yes.
And so, how do you make that choice between? We've talked about newsworthiness criteria in this class. How do you make the choice between a story, if you are going to assign a reporter to or not assign a reporter to? You know, what makes you decide that one story is worth putting in the show while another one isn't?
I think one of the things that kind of decides that is there good video for it? Also, is there good sound? And also, will it have people talking about it the next day? Or is it that story that'll make somebody like, oh, I saw this story on the news, and just talk about it with all their friends? So I guess like stories that'll get people talking and stories that are pertinent to their community. Like last week, they had something about inspection sticker, how they'll possibly drop it. So a lot of people care about that. And it's unfortunate to say, like in Jackson, like one of the things that kind of is a kind of big focus out there is crime. Like people want to know if something's happening in their area. So anything that affects people is definitely something that'll go in the show.
So, talk a little bit about how being a producer is different than being a reporter, because obviously you did plenty of reporting when you were here at Ole Miss. Now you've moved into the producing ranks. How is it different?
Um, I would say it's different in a way that on the funny side, you sit down a lot, so you have to find times to get up. But there's a lot to juggle. Whereas like with the reporting, you're just like focusing on one thing and making sure that you get all the sound and the video and make sure you're scripted out. Although they kind of do also have it hard where they have to script things out for different shows throughout the day. But with producing, you have to make sure that a lot of stories get in your show, and if one story doesn't hit another show, then it's possibly have to be in your show. And also, you have to coordinate a lot of things. Like you have to coordinate live shots. A couple of weeks ago, we had breaking news, and I had two live shots on my show, and then also no three live shots on the show, and then also a phoner. So literally, I had two people on hold for a live shot, and then also I had to connect the person on the phone to the phoner for the studio. So it's a lot of coordinating. I think coordinating is key, and then also you have to. I think also you have to know when to float something out of your show. It's a lot. You have to, I guess, have good leadership skills and just like know what's enough for your show, and kind of don't get overwhelmed, because if you get overwhelmed, then everybody else will feel that.
And you've been using a lot of terms and speaking a language that might be completely foreign to some of the students listening to this. How long did it take you, would you say, to acclimate yourself to the different world and the different terms and technology that they use in the broadcast news environment? Did you catch on fast?
I think I did, because when I went to school here, we learned terms like VOSOD and also packages and all of that stuff. So it was, and also I had internships. So it was pretty easy to sort of get that system down. I think it takes a learning curve, but everyone gets it like after a couple of weeks.
Okay. So one of the things that the textbook talks about is sweeps and ratings periods and how audience is measured. Tell me how being in a sweeps period changes your job.
Mm, it's a little bit more stressful. Sweeps starts in a couple of days on Thursday. So I don't know. I think during the week of sweeps and like that whole month long event of it, I think people are kind of on edge. Not really, because it's very competitive. I know, especially in Jackson, it's very competitive. Whereas one sweeps period, you're like up, you're in second place, and then in another period, you're in third place, and then in one period, it's just like neck and neck. So it's pretty stressful, and it's very important.
So the ratings, measuring the audience and knowing who has the most audience really matters to your organization, it sounds like.
It does. I know now, since I've worked there for a year, I try not to think of sweeps as much because, like, if you think about it and think about the ratings, then it's kind of going to affect your job performance. So I try not to think about it as much. Try to just do as best of a job as I can do, because I mean that's all you can do. But yeah, for bragging rights, like people want to say, like, oh, we're the most watched station, we're number one. I will tell you one interesting thing. So in the last ratings period, one station was running, oh, hey, we're Jackson's number one news station. But then after the next ratings period came out, it was like, oh, well, we're not number one anymore. So they took it out of their promos. So it's definitely ever changing, and it's very important for advertisers, but also it's important for a station because it kind of gives the station an image like, oh, hey, people are watching us. So it's a very important period.
Um, you know, part of the industry is evolving to have more and more people consuming content and particularly video online. Do you see online video as an opportunity for people who are going into the broadcast journalism profession, or do you see it as a threat, or both, or what's your view on that?
For example, like multimedia or something.
Well, just the idea of being able to watch a video that is posted on YouTube, or a video that is linked via Vine. I mean, people are consuming all kinds of video that they used to only be able to see on television, and they're now viewing it in the online environment. Do you see that as an opportunity, or is it a threat, or is it something that you've thought much about?
I think it's an opportunity. Definitely when you have like noteworthy video, like, oh, hey, we had this big car fire that happened and like everyone got out safely, or you have like this video of there was a bridge demolition a couple of weeks ago. If you put that online, get a lot of hits. I think it's opportunity because sometimes people can't watch a whole newscast, and I understand that. Sometimes, like on my days off, I don't really watch the news like that. I'll go online and see like, okay, here's the story, watch the video of it. I think online video is a big opportunity because stories that you can't catch on TV, be it time purposes, you can just like go to their website and watch that package online. And I also think it's a way to pull people into.
To the news. So last question for you. Advice for anyone who might be watching this interview and thinking about going into the broadcast journalism profession. What would you tell them to do to maximize their chances of success?
I definitely think having a degree in internships will give you a leg up and will prepare you for working in broadcast television. I think anybody basically can work in broadcast television. It's just a learning curve. But I think definitely working in television already, having an internship, like interning at a local station, basically getting those writing skills of how it is to write for a show. And if you do get an internship, like try to do everything. Like write, see if they'll let you edit video, see if they'll let you go out and field with a reporter, because that also helps. Because I know as a producer, we kind of want things now. You like want everything our way, but sometimes you kind of forget that, hey, well, these people are out here working hard. Also, like the photogs and people to put up the live shot. So I think having a great understanding of the industry that you're going to work in, not just, oh, I'm a producer, this is just my job. Like if you have a good understanding of everything else, then it kind of puts things into perspective.
Well, thank you so much, Gerard, for joining us
Thank you
and
for having
giving
me.
us some insight into what it takes to work in television news.